So in this presentation, I'm going to be talking about a scholarly person and some traits that it takes to be a scholarly person. Um, in the whole presentation, I'm going to talk about some soft skills and some hard skills needed to be a scholarly person. My everyday hero traits, which means things I try to achieve every day in order to attain my goals. My academic and professional plan as a student, meaning the things I have to do academically and professionally to achieve my goals. And also I'm going to quick touch base on some social justice and multicultural awareness issues. In today's day and age, we usually deal with some cultural issues and some social justice issues. So I'm going to elaborate a little bit more about how that would affect me and how I can also impact. I can also have an impact on that. We're also going to take a dip down into some development stages theory. This theory was developed by Erik Erikson, and he's a really famous psychologist. And then two stories from a textbook that I read. So first, who's a scholarly person? A scholarly person is an academic person who's gained mastery in one or more disciplines. Most scholars undertake some form of tertiary education, meaning school after high school. So colleges, universities, and technical school. And there's scholars in almost every field. You can take business, you can take the health field, you can take psychology. You usually find people who are really masters of their craft. Some examples of some well-known scholars are Erik Erikson, which we're going to talk just a little bit about. Elon Musk, who I really admire, I really like what he does every day with the three companies he's built and continue to build. And Martin Luther King Jr. These are some scholars that I actually really look up to, and I admire their work a lot. So some soft traits of scholarly people. One, they follow procedures and adhere to policies, meaning if there's actually a policy set, they actually follow it and make sure they follow the rules. They also submit to authority, so even though they're really smart, they know who's always in charge, and they submit to that. They make sure to take risk, because without risk you can't really achieve your goals. So they make sure to take that, and they commit to whatever task they set out to embark on. They're also very proactive, and I mean, in your everyday life, they expect to see some form of conflict, but it's more how they deal with the conflict. That's what's important. They always tell the truth, and they tell the truth with compassion. They listen, they make sure they listen before they act, and they always check their attitude, so they don't think they're usually higher than anyone. They check it before they act. So personally, my everyday hero traits are things I try to achieve every single day. If it's not based on a schedule, these are most soft skills that I try to look up and follow every day. One would be I try to set goals and achieve them every day. So based on the length of time or the things I want to achieve, I set long-term goals, short-term goals, weekly goals, and sometimes daily goals if I have to. I always try to listen before I act. This may not always turn out the way I want it to be, but I try to listen to everyone's opinion before I actually act on it. And I also try to communicate my thoughts and ideas very effectively. in today's day and age, communication is really important in order to achieve anything, in order to build a company, in order to present to a class, in order to even teach. You have to be an effective communicator. And I always try to be respectful to other people's decisions, because at the end of the day, everyone makes their own decisions, and it's up to us to just respect that and do what we can. So some of my academic and professional plans excuse me, include first to graduate with a bachelor's degree, and also gain enough experience within my current field of studies. As of right now, I'm really focused on business, marketing, and business, so that's what I'm really focusing on. And also learn through internships and job experience. After I'm done with these first two, I'll be looking into diving into internet marketing for small and mid-range businesses. So basically either help I join a firm or join a group of people who take care of the marketing of small and mid-range businesses. The next goal would be to retain clientele. So we'd have to get clients and then be successful at it, basically. Be the best that I can be. So there's still a fair amount of social justice issues, even in the marketplace. Just to name a few, wage inequality is one of them. Bullying is also a social justice issue, and the glass ceiling. Some people may not notice it, but it's still there. So as a marketer, I'll be playing a huge role as far as kind of walking the fine line between social justice issues, because I'll be basically promoting products and services for businesses, and in order to appeal to clients, I have to be able to show them exactly what the product is going to do. Some of these can be done through advertising, and as far as advertising, there's always a fine line between not disrespecting someone and not really stepping on any toes, and I think that's really important. So my role would be to present demographics accurately, also to avoid using the stereotypical roles in promoting a product. So we wouldn't just say, oh, these kind of people like this or do this, so we're gonna just present it this way. And also I'm gonna try and conduct fair and accurate market analysis of a community. So basically just take better surveys of communities and then promote the product. And also my role would be to listen to the concerns of the people and identify some of the best ways to promote a product or a service in a given group. So the development stages theory was developed by Erik Erikson in the mid-1950s. And basically what it is a theory that divides child development into distinct stages, and they're characterized by some qualitative differences. And basically what it is it portrays the basic conflicts between that individuals have to face, and also displays the desired outcome. So that's Erik Erikson. And there's just a table that kind of displays some of the stages that everyone goes through, some of the basic conflicts that we all have to go through, some of the events that actually portray these conflicts, and what the desired outcome would be. So, for instance, when from birth to 18 months, a child deals with trust and mistrust. Some of the important events that happen would be feeding, and then the outcome would be the children develops a sense of trust when caregivers provide reliability, care, and affection. A lack of this leads to mistrust of the care. And as of right now, I am at the stage, so the young adulthood, so between 19 and 40. The basic conflict at this stage is intimacy versus isolation. And the important events right now are relationships. And the desired outcome for me right now is young adults need to form intimate love and relationships with other people. Success leads to strong relationships, while failures result in loneliness and isolation. So the book we had to read for class was Luck is No Incident by Kruboltz and Levi. And what the book mainly portrayed was that things that happen by accident are not all that bad. They can lead to success. And an example in the story was, can I major in tennis, coach? And this is just the title of the story. Basically, it was a freshman who wasn't sure what his major is going to be. He had played tennis almost all his life, and at the end, he had to actually go to his tennis coach to find out what his major should be. His coach happened to be a psychology teacher, and the answer the coach gave him was just be a psychology major. And he just delved into it. He went until he became a psychology major, and he's been doing that for about 20 years, and he actually loves it. It wasn't really planned. It was just, he just talked him into it, and he just became a psychology major for that one. Another story is Putting Myself in Change. It's about a lady called Monique who, after her master's degree, didn't really know what to do. Her friend had told her about a consulting job, and she didn't actually even know what the consultant did. But she still took the interview. She got laid off within the first year, but then asked for a reversal. And within 3 years, she got really good at her job that she actually started her own firm and became really successful at it. So the whole point of the story is you don't really have to know where exactly you want to go. You just have to start. You just have to do it, and at the end, it's going to turn out well. So in summary, I guess what I'm trying to more portray is luck always meets the prepared mind. So in order to achieve something, there is some form of luck involved. But in order to achieve it well, you have to be prepared. You have to do the basic things that are needed. You have to go to school. You have to learn the skills that are needed to get the job. And so when you get the job, you can be successful at it. And the third is always believe in your abilities. Always know what you're good at, improve on that, and just believe in it, and you'll be successful. Thank you. Yeah, it's fun.